Hi, today we're going to deal with the problem a lot of cars have with these plastic covers over the new lights. They get foggy. There are kits that they sell. You can go pay a professional a couple $100 to do it, but they sell kits for about $20. It'll do this. Takes about a half hour, I'd say. I'll tell you at the end how long it really took me. But you can see my headlights are fogged over at the top. And these kits come with 4-step instructions that are pretty easy. First, you're going to buff with an 800 grit little pad. Then you're going to come back and buff with a 1500 grit little pad, and again they come right in the kits. Then you're going to buff one more time with a 3000 grit pad, and then finally you'll come back and polish with this with this little polishing pad and their polishing material. You do need a power drill. I like to use the power plug-in one, but you can, and they recommend that you use a battery one. The last thing they tell you to do is you just have to spray it every once in a while to keep it lubricated. So I'm going to go ahead and start. I'll show you as I start, and then I'll break away for the time. You don't need to watch me buff the whole time. Alright, as I mentioned, the common problem is the fogginess on here, and the kits, as I talked about, they come with the inserter that goes in your chuck of your drill. The drill chucks usually are just by hand. 1/8 inch, goes in, tighten it back up, and then these kits are very nice in that each of the grades of sandpaper is marked on the back. That's the 800, it's Velcro on the back, Velcro pad, on it goes. I'm going to spray it like it says to do. You want to be careful so you don't hit the metal or the plastic part of your car around it. If you keep it slow enough, you don't have to worry about it. They do recommend taping it off. I'm just not that worried about it. So I'm going to spray it all up and get it wet, and then I will start buffing. They say also if your glass is yellowed, when the residue runs off as you're sanding, it will be yellow. Don't be scared about that. That's just the fact that it's been discolored. So it does like to travel a little bit on you. So you just slow it down, you get better control if that's what you need. Making sure I'm staying well away from my body. And you're noticing it's getting a little creamy on here, or frosty, whatever you want to call it. That's the actual bad plastic coming off. Here's what that same headlight cover looks like after running the 800 grit pad on it. It doesn't look much better yet, but there are 4 more steps and it will get better. I've seen this work on other cars that I've done. Alright, here's how the lens looks after running the 1500 grit pad on it. And again, I put water on it, I grind for about a minute. I put more water on it, I grind for a minute, and then I wash it off, or wipe it off with a clean cloth. By the way, by design, the drill spins, so it spits off all the excess water and everything up onto your hood and that, and you'll have to wipe that off afterward. I've been doing that between each buffing. I'm going to run just to show you the technique of how to do it. I've already run the 800, the 1500, now I'm doing the 3000, which is a much softer pad. Spray the water on it. I've already done 1 round of this. And then I hold the drill with 2 hands so I have more control. And you notice I'm not going that fast. Just make my way around the whole lens, staying away from the paint job, because it will grind your paint off or the plastic off your bumper. If you notice, as I'm getting finer and finer with the sandpaper, the grit count, the lens is looking all the much better. And again, I'm not a professional at this, so it's not going to be perfect, but it will let a lot more light out than it did before. And I found on my other vehicles it'll last about 2 years before I have to do it again. Alright, we're going to do the final buffing. Again, the drill, the new buffing pad is on. The polish, the instructions say to put about a nickel's worth in the center of it. So I'll do that. Start it slowly, and then I'm going to work it in counterclockwise circles because my drill drills clockwise. Just in small circles on it as we go. And it'll buff it up all nice and clean. And then when you're done, just take your cloth, wipe it off again. Again, my goal is to make them functional and somewhat pure clean again, but it's not going to be factory made again. But that is going to let a lot more light out than it had when I started. And with the buffing and everything, it probably took about a half hour overall. But that's how my two headlights now look at the end compared to how they looked at the beginning. That's how you can clean off your headlights. Again, they get them up to a functional level. They look half decent again for, you know, appearance sake. And it's a lot cheaper than paying $150 or $250 to a professional. All right, this is after running the 800 grit, the 1500 grit, and the 3000 grit. I've wiped it off. In this last phase, you don't put any water on it at all. Just want to show you how easy it is to change the pads out. It's Velcroed on there. It says 3000 on the back. Set that over here. Take the buffing pad, the last step. Just Velcro it on as centered as I can. I didn't like that one, so I'll reset it.